We will give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master and Savior, this day. And we shall read John chapter 5, verse 39. Oh, boy. Everybody all right, all right, all right? Well, let's go ahead and get it then. Search the scriptures for any of you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. Oh, boy, call drop. You get that back. And now that's back. All right, call drop. But y'all know what John 5:39 say. So, you know, we searching this book. Hello? So that we might be able to come to the Most High to show forth that His love is in us. A lot of people that ain't in them. 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and about verse 5 and chapter 5 and about verse 20. Ooh. Look at little stinks. This is interesting. There we go. We'll make it about verse 15. Make it 14. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. What do you think that means if somebody is feeble-minded? Y'all know that? What do you think that is to be feeble-minded? He said the thing that he exhorted them to do was to warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, and be patient towards all men. What do you think that means to be feeble-minded? Huh? Childish, a weak-minded individual. You got a feeble mind, that's almost bad as being called a simpleton. You know what I'm saying? When you turn around and you look at it, when it comes to talking about comfort the feeble mind, it's just basically like you're weak in the mind. You know what I'm saying? And we turn around and you look at, I know sometimes y'all get weak. And this is why the Most High come forth to comfort His people. As you know in Romans chapter 15, he says, you know, these things were written that through the scriptures we might have hope, that we might be comforted by them. See, when I was mentioning to y'all about how these people do us in these apartment complexes here. You know what I'm saying? This is when you turn around and we look at Micah chapter 7 about Him comforting the feeble-minded. Hello? Alrighty then. Micah chapter 7, probably about verse 4. I'm sorry, probably about verse 8. It says, rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahuwah shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahuwah because I have sinned against Him until He plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold His righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahuwah thy Elohim? My eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. See, now you turn around and look at it. Would that be a little comfort for you and what you dealing with in this place? What about you? That comfort you a little bit? I remember the first time I read it, it made me feel real good. To a point when I was telling my homegirl about it, she said, you shouldn't feel that way. I say, why shouldn't I? These people sit back and they rejoice. I'm trying to sit back and think of the place in Jeremiah where he said this here. But you know, our enemies sat back and they looked at the situation that we were in and they say, aha, this is the time that we have been waiting for. And you brother know exactly what spot I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Any of you brother know what I'm talking about? I'm sitting here tell you. I'm going to tell y'all the exact definition of being feeble-minded is unable to make intelligent decisions or judgments. You are stupid, idiotic, imbecilic, foolish, witless, dotish, empty-headed, vacuous. Yeah, yeah. To be called feeble-minded, half-witted, moronic, dumb, dim, dopey, dippy, and daft. You know what I'm saying? And you know that kind of go back to what we were talking about the other day. Remember how he said we were wise, and do he say we were sottish children? You know what I'm saying? So he had to come through to comfort us because we were just dumb. We just refused to listen. Remember, because he said to warn the unruly. See, come over here to Nehemiah chapter 9 while I think on what that is in Jeremiah, what I'm talking about. Nehemiah 9 and about 25. Woo-hoo. Hello? Make it about 27. Well, 26. He said, nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn them to thee, and they wrought great provocations. Therefore thou delivered them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them in the time of their trouble. When they cried unto thee, thou heard them from Shamahim, according to thy manifold mercies. Thou gave them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore left thou them in the hand of their enemies, so that they had dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heard them from Shamahim, and many times did thou deliver them according to thy mercies, and testified against them that thou might bring them again unto thy law. Yet they dealt proudly, and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and withdrew the shoulder and hardened the neck, and would not hear. Yet many years did thou forbear them, and testify against them by the Spirit in thy prophets, yet they would not give ear. Therefore gave thou them into the hand of the people of the land. So you see how he's always warned the unruly. You don't sit back and see how we will behave, and you wouldn't think that's him warning the unruly. See, I'll show you another. Go to the book of Jonah. We're still holding 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Stanky. Jonah in chapter 3 and verse 1. This also going to something what T asked me about. If you mess up, do you got a chance to get back? You know, Mouse was asking about it too. You know, I was talking to y'all about this the other day. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is you don't know how long of a string you got. You can't have it in your mind, well, if I mess up, then what? It should never be in your mind that you're going to mess up. That thought shouldn't even come into your head, because now you have set the stage that you're going to mess up. You already have it in your mind you're going to do it. That means you've already set it in your heart to do something that you ain't got no business. See, I'm going to tell y'all this here, man, and I'm going to tell you this here because I was talking to one of the sisters about this yesterday morning. No matter what your rhyme, situation, and circumstance it is for you to do something outside the will of y'all, and you know it is wrong and you shouldn't do it, he don't want to hear that. It wouldn't matter what you got going on. Your first obligation is to keep this man's commandments, first and foremost, no matter what you got going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach had people coming to kill him, spit in his face, slapped him, all this here, man. That didn't change the fact that he wasn't going to sin. Don't let your situation and circumstances of your life dictate if you're going to be obedient or not. You know what I'm saying? I just told also one of the other sisters this here, and sometimes when you got something you want, you might need to fall back from it and just sit back and be able to make sure you save your soul, regardless if you want it or not. See, some of y'all real selfish when it comes to stuff, because y'all want what you want. And you ain't got enough wisdom and self-control and fortitude to actually refrain yourself from something you want, to see if y'all would allow you to have it, because you ain't got good sense. You think I'm going to tell you something, man. I'll get it in a minute. Hold on. Jonah chapter 3 and about verse 1. And the word of Yahuwah came unto Jonah the second time, saying, Arise and go unto Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. So Jonah arose and went into Nineveh according to the word of Yahuwah. Now Nineveh was an exceeding great city of 3 days' journey. And Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey, and he cried, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed Elohim and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least of them. So when they heard that proclamation that they would be destroyed, what's the key thing you see happen in their minds when they heard it? They heard it, but not just the turn it. It said he believed him. So they believed him. You know, see, a lot of y'all hear warning and you actually don't believe it. See, when he say, my enemy rejoice against me, she shall be turned into the mire of the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's because they don't act. They said, where is your Elohim? Where is he at? See, they don't believe that there'll be a vindication. So this is why he's had to say, I got to send out to warn the unruly. Look at your Matthew 24 real fast. This is why Hamashiach makes the statement he make right here. You got to warn the unruly. Say, how is he going to be able to destroy these people without warning them first? Once he done warned them, you ain't got no cause. You ain't got no reason. You don't have no justification for your behavior. You will perish. See, it has to get out of your mind and talk about you just going to do what you want. Matthew 24 about verse 8. Or verse 9, I should say. Listen. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And this good news of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So the unruly got to be warned. That's why he say the law is not for a righteous man, but for those who are out the way. See, go over to 2 Timothy chapter 1, just so you can hear that. That's why he tell you got to warn the unruly. See, you see them Christians coming around talking about you ain't got to keep the law. See, that's not what he was trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you it's not for those that know. 1 Timothy 1 and 9, my apologies. Make it 5, though. It's to warn people. Don't y'all realize all of us were unruly at a particular time? And you know, this also goes down to being unruly, meaning you don't have no control over yourself. You know, in the book of Proverbs, he said if a man doesn't have control over his spirit, he's like a city with the walls broken down. That's why one of the fruits of the manifestation of the word is self-control. See, when you unruly, you don't have no self-control. See, the word is supposed to come in and the word is supposed to keep your flesh under control because of your adherence to it. So if you look at that you can't control yourself in particular arenas or matters or whatever the case may be, then you need to look at why have I not brought my mind, my thoughts into captivity of a Mashiach, my thoughts into captivity of the word, that I might be able to control myself. Because if you could control one thing I know, according to this word, and then it's also living, if you could control your mouth, you can control anything else. You know what I'm saying? Then I say some of y'all can control your mouth, but some of y'all can't control your vagina or your penis. You know what I'm saying? Because you make all your decisions and thought processes based on that. And when I say that, not just for the desire or wanting to have sex, but the desire of just wanting to have a companion, just wanting to be with somebody, or just wanting to be loved. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved, but you can't let that stuff come in and cloud your judgment. You know what I'm saying? Can't let it come in and cloud your judgment. Truth be told, you can't let nothing come in and cloud your judgment. You got to keep your mind clear, your focus singular. And if you do that, then things will be able to manifest itself a lot clearer. It'd be a lot easier. He said, now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart and out of a good conscience of faith unfeigned, from which some having swerved have turned aside under vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor where they affirm. But we know that the law is good, if a man use it lawfully. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for the unkodesh and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, and for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious good news of the blessed Elohim, which was committed to my trust. So that's the whole purpose. Like y'all know about Ezekiel chapter 3, right? You know, in Ezekiel chapter 3, he talks about the watchman. He even talks about it in Ezekiel 33. The whole purpose of a watchman is to warn the unruly. The whole purpose of why we even sit back and sit down to hear the word is to warn the unruly, because we out the way. See, we don't want to look at that we out the way. That's why Paul say to warn the unruly and to comfort the feeble-minded, to comfort the stupid. It's like this here. Before Mashiach came and showed us what it was that we were supposed to do, we were some stupid individuals. You know what I'm saying? Why were we stupid? Because we continually went against Yah's word on a regular basis. We continually sought our will in our own way. We continually went after the lust of our eyes and the thoughts of our hearts to our own destruction. Nor did we ever consider what would happen to us. See, come over here to Deuteronomy 32. Is everybody all right? You know, it was told to me somebody was mad with me because they didn't like how I went about admonishing them on a particular matter. I'll tell you the truth. I do not care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't finna make you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make you feel good about being stupid. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing if I know you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You relatively. You know what I'm saying? But boy, if you been did this for a while, man, you do something stupid, man, all gloves off. You ought to be shamed. Don't you realize that if he say to shame him in front of everybody, that means if you getting shamed, it ain't necessarily gonna feel good for you. Don't you know the Epistle of Hebrews? He said even though that chastisement, he say, it's not joyous. It lead to the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who are exercised thereby. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be shamed like that to be able to get where you need to go. And if you can't take the shaming, hey man, hell waiting on you. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to keep telling you this here, man. I'm going to tell y'all this again, man. Regardless of what you thinking, man. You can't be outside this man's word and think this man going to be showing you stuff and blessing you and he know you ain't got no desire, no nothing in your heart to do it. That's why it don't make no difference about you saying you sorry. Cause I'll sit back and show you that in a second. Saying you sorry ain't going to cut it. Deuteronomy 32, man. About verse 16. Listen what he tell you. See, y'all don't realize this here, man. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, Apostle Paul let us know, he say, man, you can't serve the Most High and devils. Say, do we provoke him to jealousy? See, you can't serve your own belly. Because he say, man, your God is your own belly, which is lead to your own destruction. You can't be around here serving yourself now. Because that's what ends up happening when you feel like I can go mess up. I can go do this here. Ain't no go back and mess up, try to come back. Y'all done read about people who messed up and tried to come, man, it's over with for you. You don't know how long you got. You don't know what space you got. You don't know if he going to forgive you or not. You shouldn't walk around there with that thought process that he ought to forgive you. And you know what you're supposed to do. He said they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations, provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils and not to Elohim, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. So again, I'm telling you, say some of y'all God is your belly. Your God is your lust. He say, but you serve this man with abominations. Now, you know in Deuteronomy 25, he say all that do unrighteously are an abomination unto y'all. So when you do things that are unrighteous, period, that's an abomination. That's why he say go ahead and comfort the stupid. So in order for us to no longer be stupid, that means we have to become wise. And guess what makes you wise? So don't nobody know what's going to make them wise. The fear of the respect of Yah is going to make you wise. Where is that fear and that knowledge of that respect going to come from? From the knowledge of Yah. Some of the knowledge of Yah, therefore the respect of Yah should come from it. Therefore, once you have attained that, then there should be a level of comfort in your mind, because then you would no longer be stupid, because you would be wise. We'll deal with that in a moment. We will deal with that in a moment. But let me show y'all something with somebody who did something stupid in 1 Kings chapter 21. What you smiling at, little stanky? What you smiling at, little stanky? I see you smiling over there, little stanky. Let me get around there. 1 Kings chapter 21. And we want about verse 16. It said, it came to pass when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it. And the word of Yahuwah came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, arise and go down to meet Ahab, king of Yasharal, which is in Samaria. Behold, he's in the vineyard of Naboth, whether he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, thus saith Yahuwah, hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, thus saith Yahuwah, in the place where the dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. And Ahab said to Elijah, hast thou found me, O my enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of Yahuwah. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that piss against a wall, and him that is shut up and left in Yasharal. And will make thine house the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahiah, for provocation, whereof thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Yasharal to sin. And of Jezebel also spake Yahuwah, saying, the dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth for Ahab in the city the dog shall eat, and him that die in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahuwah, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all the things as did the Amorites, whom Yahuwah cast out before the children of Yasharal. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard these words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted, and lay in sackcloth, and went softly. And the word of Yahuwah came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, see thou how Ahab humbled himself before me? Because he humbled himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring evil upon his house. Now, you see that he heard this here, and it looked like he repented then, didn't it? That's what it looked like. So he said he was going to kill his sons. You think y'all spared Ahab, though? You think Ahab's heart was really changed, even though he did all that? I'm sorry. And he fasted, and he wept, and he laid down and put sackcloth and ashes. You think that meant something? I'm being honest, y'all. How many of y'all think that meant something? I'm talking about, for this case in point, I'll even let the women answer. All you got to do is a yay or nay. Y'all think that meant something he did that? Why? What? So why didn't it mean something then? Huh? But I mean, but right then he just repented though, didn't he? He even told Elijah, look at him. Look what he did. You see how he humbled himself before me? Yeah, he did know he would do it beforehand, but ain't y'all merciful and forgive sin and iniquity? He repented from the heart though, didn't it? It seemed like it though, don't it? But look at the next chapter. Just look at the next chapter. It seemed like he repented from the heart. This is why you sit back and look at you talking about if I mess up. He messed up. He went and weeping and all that there, didn't he? But look what the nigga say out of his mouth, 1 Kings 22 and said. Then look what this nigga say out of his mouth. It's still King Ahab now. Say, then the king of Yasharal gathered together the prophets together about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for the master shall deliver it into the hand of the king. Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of Yahuwah besides that? We might inquire of him. And the king of Yasharal said unto Jehoshaphat, There is one man, Micaiah the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of Yahuwah, but I hate him. For he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, Let the king say so. So even when he did all of that, he still didn't want to hear the word of Yah after that, even though he did all that crying, all that fasting. He messed up though, didn't it? See, that was the example, like that mouse you were asking me about. Oh, you think it's just as easy to go back and write, I ain't gonna talk, I ain't gonna do this? He did that already though, didn't he? He killed the man and took something that belonged to this man. Like even the worshiping of the idols, he went along with his wife's nonsense. That's why I sit back and tell y'all better be real careful about who you pick to be your wife. Because some of y'all spineless niggas will let your wife convince you to do something you know you ain't got no business because you was a coward. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what Ahab was. He was a coward. Weak individual. You know what I'm saying? And he turned around now. It said he wept and fasted and mourned and did all that, didn't he? That meant absolutely nothing, though. Because his heart was not changed. You seen that with Cain. When he came, I'm sorry. Oh, this punishment more than I can bear. But there was he had an unrepentant heart. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you, man. There was one time with Brittany once. She had did something. You know what I'm saying? She didn't know I had already was aware of it. Because of deductive reasoning skill, because I ain't no dumb, I ain't stupid, you know what I'm saying? And then I let her know, hey, I was aware of that. And her response enraged me, because you weren't remorseful about that. You were proud that you did that. Your response let me know that. You know what I'm saying? That if I would have been in your face, I might have spit in it. You know what I'm saying? That's that type of thing go in your mind. Not that you would literally spit in somebody's face, but you need some level of humility, because you can't do something as violent as that and then just be like, well, you know, I did it. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mentioning that just for as far as pointing her out, so don't none of y'all feel like, well, he talking to her, he ain't talking to me. You gotta sit back and look at, man, if somebody show you that something you did is wrong, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that proud to sit back and be like, even with Ahab, you seeing that. He was a sinner. He was a transgressor regardless. You know what I'm saying? But when he was shown to be wrong in that particular instance, he wasn't too proud to acknowledge his error. You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all problem is, even when you dead wrong, you feel like, I got to dig my feet in. Ain't no shame in that. That doesn't make you any less real. It doesn't make you any less of a man or woman to acknowledge I was wrong for that. Probably shouldn't have said that, probably shouldn't have did that, probably shouldn't have went about that in that fashion. You know what I'm saying? But you see an instance in this here, he messed up. He repented in all. Y'all said, I won't even do the evil in his time, I'll do it in his son's time. But then as time go on, you sit back and see, he still don't have a love for the word like he supposed to now, did he? He didn't have that. And I'm telling y'all this, that y'all don't want to have that type of mind that, oh, I just mess up and I go to crying and you know what I'm saying, get it back. Say, I'm going to show you something again. Come on to Genesis 27 about messing up. Just because you mess up don't mean you can get back. So you don't need to be sitting around here thinking about messing up. That stuff don't need to come in your mind. My apologies. Genesis 25 and about 28. Y'all all right? Y'all follow me, man. We'll get back to it. I got to hit a couple things. I may not get them all, but y'all will. I get some of them. I ain't trying to go too long. I done preached 8 days in a row, so I ain't trying to go too long tonight. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. It ain't cause I'm just in a hurry to go, but shoot, you just heard the word 8 days in a row. Probably ain't good and registered that too tough yet. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about getting on the motorcycle and riding down the highway again tonight. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit back and be like, boy, it was a gap between the word. You can't come with that one now. Because from September 13th all the way to Sunday night, you got plenty. Indeed. Praise y'all. Say Isaac loved Esau. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Esau said, behold, I'm at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do me? Jacob said, swear to me this day. He sware to him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. He did eat it, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. You know it's funny to me too. You know it's really funny to me too. These niggas always talking about this verse, talking about that man was eating red meat. Y'all know what lentils is, right? Grains. I like lentils. That protein blend that we buy from Bird's Eye got lentils. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about he got bread and grains, but you know that the pottage was red though. That's why they say he was eating blood. But see, I want y'all to catch something. The pie, he got bread and red pottage. He eats it. He eats. He drinks. He gets up. He despises his birthright. Y'all got any idea what that could mean? Look at you. Lizzie, go get my elbow off the top rope. Well, I'm going to show y'all in a minute. But you see how Esau despised his birthright? Let's see what the birthright is. Don't fight. Don't fight. Romans 8:14. Don't fight. We'll come back to Genesis 27 in a minute. Matter of fact, come on over here to Genesis 27. I'll just do it now. See, you know, a lot of people despise their birthright. That's why you sit back and say, I can mess up. Then I can just get it back. I did fall back. I can mess up a little bit. It's all right. You know, y'all still love me later. Genesis 27 and about verse 30. Don't fight, Lizzie. Don't fight. Don't fight, Lizzie. Don't fight, Lizzie. Lizzie. She's trying to get that cup. She's trying to get that cup. She's going to fight for it. It came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that my soul may bless me, that thy soul may bless me. Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? You heard what he said? Who are you? Why would he ask him, who is he? Why would he ask him that? Why would Isaac ask Esau, who are you? What would come to your mind that this man say he's seeking a blessing, and he said, man, who are you? Don't nothing come to y'all mind when y'all hear that? Nobody? Let's look at Matthew chapter 7 then. Whole Genesis 27. Say Esau came. You got to remember, you know the reason being? Remember, Isaac was of old age. He couldn't see. Y'all remember that, right? Y'all know that, right? He couldn't see. 7:21 in Matthew. He come unto him saying, Father, Father, that's his master. That's his ruler. Let's see what the Most High. Let's see what Hamashiach say then. Not everyone that saith unto me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of Shamahim, but he that do the will of my Father which is in Shamahim. See, Esau didn't want to do the will of Yah. You know what I'm saying? He say, many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? Then I will profess to them, unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Come on back to Genesis 27. Don't you realize when he asked him, who are you? I don't know you. Who are you? See, matter of fact, before you even go to that there, Acts chapter 19, verse 6. Stop being hard-headed. And make sure verse 6 what I want. Actually, it's verse 13 that I want. Acts 19 and 13. Party. Tizzy. Then certain of the vagabond Yahudim, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the master Yahusha, saying, we adjure you by Yahusha whom Paul preached. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Yahudim, and the chief priest, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahusha I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? Why would the evil spirit say, I know Paul, I know Yahusha, but who are you? I don't know you. Why would they say that? Stop, Lizzie.
Stop.
Why don't they know him? No, those were evil spirits in somebody. Come back to Genesis 27. You'll see why they didn't know him. You'll see why Hamashiach say, I don't know you. You'll see why our father Isaac or Yishak say, man, who are you? You come after me talking about eat some of my venison, get some of this blessing. Who are you? I don't know you. I'll read 31 again for your reading pleasures. And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? See, that's also something that that's in Luke 13 with that same thing that's stated in Matthew 7. See, come over here to Luke 13 just so you can. He said, you who? You heard he told him who he was. I'm Esau, your firstborn. He said, you who? Say, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know that. You got right here about Luke. I'm sorry, let me get them. About Luke 13. About verse 24. Then what y'all need to sit back, get in your mind. Better tighten up your loins. Better tighten up your loins. That's what you better do. That is well, brother. That is well. He says, strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Once the master of the house is risen up and have shut the door, and you begin to stand without to knock at the door, saying, Master, Master, open unto us, he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence you are. Then you shall begin to say, we have eaten and drank in thy presence, thou hast taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know not whence you are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, when you shall see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of Elohim, and you yourselves thrust out. And that brother Jerome just texted me and mentioned on. He say light can't recognize darkness. You got to remember, Isaac is the seed of the promise. Why would he recognize Esau when the blessing was Jacob's anyway? Why would he recognize him anyhow? But do you see the key thing he told him? He said, man, y'all gonna come. He gonna say, man, let us in. Because you got to remember, he done already gave the blessing to Jacob, so the door been shut. Now he coming talking about open unto me, open unto me. He say, man, I don't know who you are. Who are you? Man, I done ate and drunk in your streets. Same way he sat back and said, I'm Esau, your firstborn. And what did he turn around and say? And I will tell you, I don't know you. Get away from me. Go back to Genesis 27, see that's what Isaac finna tell you. See, that's what happens when y'all sit around here talking about you think you can mess up, you got room for error, you can do what you want to do, despise your birthright, then come back around and try to get it later. Ain't no help. Ain't no help. Well, I was told something disturbing, talking about people talking about they want to go back to the world, boy. That's disturbing. I hope ain't none of y'all think about that. I don't know what you're going to go back to. I don't know how some of y'all want to go back to swallowing hot dogs. I don't know how some of y'all want to go back to chasing hoes, being drunk, being high. Some of you niggas still sitting around here cussing. I don't see how you niggas can't control your mouth. I'm going to tell y'all something my 9th grade science teacher told me, man, using profanity is the sign of a small mind of a human being that cannot properly express themselves. If you say you are Yahoo demon, a servant of Yah, you ought to be able to express yourself in a manner without using such vulgar language. I wouldn't care what it was. You know what I'm saying? You ain't, like I said, you ain't never heard me use the street term for penis. You ain't gonna never hear me use it. Make sure you keep your language clean. You ain't gonna hear me use the street term for a woman's vagina. Keep your language clean. Don't give these people no appearance of evil. Keep your language clean. How you gonna sit back and say your life clean, your heart clean, but your mouth ain't clean? Then I gotta take some soap, put it in your mouth. And not because your breath stank. Verse 33 again in Genesis 27. Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken the venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou came, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great exceeding bitter cry, and said unto him, his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. Master, master, we done did all this here. Bless me too. Crying, there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. He crying. He said, Thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. He said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he has said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? See, ain't nobody take nothing from him. He gave it up because he hated it. Let me show you what your birthright is in Romans 8 and 14. Show you what your birthright is. Y'all know what your birthright is? You should know the blessing that gave was given to Jacob. Dominion, rule. Much corn and wine, and the dew of Shamahim. He was given the covenant that was swore to Abraham. He was able to become a son of the Most High through that birthright, which Esau didn't want. See, Esau messed up and he thought he could come back and get that birthright later. Can't come back and get it. You know what I'm saying? He said, what good is it going to do me? I don't want it. That's how some of y'all operate. What good is it going to do me? Come on, girl, bust them legs open. I'm going to go ahead and lie. I'm going to steal. I'm going to hate my brother in his heart without cause. I'm going to tell lies. I'll put these pants on. I smoke this weed. I sip this beer. I drink this liquor. You know what I'm saying? I put a whole skirt on. I walk around with my titties all out. He's a soldier. You ain't even heard his name. 8 and 14. See, say, for as many as are led by the spirit of Elohim, they are the sons of Elohim. You can already tell Esau talking about what good a birthright gonna do me. He wasn't had the spirit of the Most High, nor was he led by it. He said, for you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Elohim. And if children, then heirs, heirs of Elohim, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we also may be glorified together. Don't you realize Jacob became a joint heir with that blessing with his father? How else could Isaac give his son a blessing that he wasn't a part of? See, remember, he said Abraham was able to get that blessing. It was able to go down to Isaac because what? Abraham kept my laws, my statutes, my commandments, and my judgments. So, you know, Isaac had to turn around and do the same thing. And then, you know, Jacob turned around and said, oh, Yahuwah, if you keep me in the way that you have, he said, I'll give you everything that I got. So I'm going to show you something else too now. He said he ate, it said Esau ate and drank and despised their birthright, right? Say, what good is it going to do me? Right? Come on over here to Matthew 16 and 20. All right, Matthew 16 and 20. And from that time forth, and then he charged his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahushua HaMashiach. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and raised again the 3rd day. Now, before Mashiach got killed, what did he turn around and do? What did he turn around to do before he got killed, gentlemen? No, no, I'm talking about before he died, before they came and got him, what did he do? Before he prayed, what did he do? He ate and drank, didn't he? And then he rose up. So when we come over here and we look at Matthew 26, let's just see what it say. Because it said that Esau had bread and pottage of lentils. And the pottage of lentils would be red now, wouldn't it? What color is the wine? So he got up with bread and wine and got up and he said he rose and he ate that. And after he did it, he despised his birthright after that. So when we look at Matthew 26, and probably about verse, because y'all already know where he ate at. Hold on, my page missing. It's in the wrong place. That's why I don't see what I want. Matthew 26 and about verse 45. He said, Then come he to his disciples and saith unto them, Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hand of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is that at hand that doth betray me. Now you turn around and you look at it. What did Esau say that Jacob did? No, he said he used subtlety, didn't he? He tricked me, he deceived me, he betrayed me. And now you see Amashiach about to have the same thing happen to him. He about to be betrayed. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to turn around and you're going to swing over here to John chapter 18. And about verse 35. What you talking about, little Iggy? John 18 and 35. Pilate answered, Am I Yahudim? Thy own nation and chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? Yahushua answered, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Yahudim. But now is my kingdom not from hence. Pilate therefore said unto them, Art thou a king then? Yahushua answered, Thou say I'm a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth, hear my voice. So he just let them know, I was born for the particular cause to die. You know what I'm saying? Because they about to kill him. Don't you realize that if he wanted to cleave to his birthright, that he wouldn't have came down here? That once he ate and drank, he had to despise his birthright. He walked away from it. He did just what Esau did. He walked away from it. What birthright? What good is it going to do me at this time? It's not going to do me any good. See, he was willing to give his birthright up, die, so he could pick it back up again. You know what I'm saying? See, Esau just outright didn't want it. So also when we dealing in why Isaac said, Who are you? I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And the Mashiach looking at these people and say he don't know them. And then you looking at Paul and you looking at Yahushua and the evil spirits say, I know them, but I don't know you. The reason being is because they are part of the body of the Father. They have the spirit of Yah is in them. You know what I'm saying? This is why he said he didn't know him. You got to remember, Jacob just got the blessing to get all the corn and wine, all the do with Shamahim, let all thy mother's brothers bow down to thee, all these things. All these things is being an heir with a Mashiach. These are all the things that are pertaining to becoming the son of Yah, becoming the son of the Most High. This is your birthright. This is the blessing. That's why he say, He that overcometh shall be my son, and I will be to him a father. You know what I'm saying? So that means if you overcome, that blessing that you get, that birthright that you get is the Ruach HaKodesh. Therefore, Yah would know you. Therefore, you would be a part of his family. That's why that evil spirit told them vagabond Jews who were exorcists and sinners, man, I don't know you. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't realize the evil spirits. You know, I used to tell Marie this all the time. You done been present. The evil spirits know who belong to Yah and who don't. Why you think them evil spirits, when they seen the Mashiach, they say, man, we know who you are. And he told them what, man? Oh, man, keep your mouth closed. How could they know who he was? Because they know the spirit of Yah. That's how they know who he was. You know what I'm saying? You turn around and you look at Isaac. Isaac didn't give Esau the blessing, the spirit of Yah. So when he come in there, man, who are you? I don't know you. I don't recognize you. See, that's what you turn around and you got to sit back and look at. Does Yah know you? See, you thinking, I know Yah, but do he know you, though? You know what I'm saying? See, and then a lot of times you screaming, you know Yah, you don't know him anyway because you be doing what you want to do. But like he said, to comfort the feeble-minded or the stupid. See, the first thing, come over here to Proverbs chapter 9. And after that, we look at 1 Corinthians 15:33. He amped up. He all right. Talk to him then, Iggy. I don't know what he was talking about. He was happy about it, though. 9 and 10. He wasn't happy. He was happy about it, wasn't he? He was happy. 9 and 10. The fear of Yahuwah is beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of Kodesh is understanding. So where you going to get the knowledge of Kodesh? The first thing that we started with. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. Because Yahusha told you in Revelation that he was Kodesh. Saith he that is Kodesh. That's what he said, right? So when you get knowledge of him, then you have to begin the process to understand. And when you begin the process to understand, you'll show forth that wisdom and fearing Yah, because you respect his commandments like we were talking about last week. See, that fear of Yah will allow you to do what? Stay in that path to where ain't no messing up. I told the young lady that I trained, she said, well, how could I be able, she said, I've been telling my sister, I've been contemplating coming with y'all and what y'all doing. And she said, her sister asked her, are you ready to change your life? And she was like, I am, but I really don't know how to go about doing it. You know what I'm saying? And she asked me, she said, how do you give up everything that you've always been doing? And I gave her this simple analogy of this, because she is a mother. She has a toddler who's soon to turn 3. And I say the same way that your child face lights up, eyes lights up. When they know that they have done something that's pleasing in your eyesight, they usually seek to continue to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? I say that's the same way you ought to look at Yah, that you want every single solitary thing that you say and do, that would be pleasing in his eyesight, that you would have that same look of I can't even think of the word that I would want to use, or that satisfaction to know that your parent is pleased with you. See, a lot of y'all, as you've gotten older, you done moved away from that of wanting someone to be pleased with your work. You know what I'm saying? You end up now, you more concerned, you get older, you want to only be pleased with your own work. And that's how you get caught up in not caring what anybody thinks or what anybody says. And a lot of times, in a lot of situations, you shouldn't care what nobody think or what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? But when you get caught up in that mentality of thinking like that, it can be real easy for you to drift off from, in all things, I just want y'all to be pleased with me and what I'm doing, and that my actions and my work line up with what he prescribes and what he has ordained. You know what I'm saying? See, we move away from that. That's why he said, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. Why else would he be well pleased? See, I'm going to show you something. John chapter 11. See, how else, if he say the knowledge of the Kodesh is understanding and the fear of Yah at the beginning of wisdom, and the Mashiach has been made unto us wisdom. Stop, Lizzie. Then the only way you're going to get that wisdom to be able to comfort the feeble-minded, to comfort the stupid, is you got to preach the word to them. See, no matter what people say, that's why you say, man, only way people going to be saved is by the preaching of the affliction of Yahusha. You're going to have to preach this word. That's the only way you're going to get that comfort. See, a lot of y'all don't want that comfort because you just want to do what you want to do. And it's all good if you want to do what you want to do. Just be willing to suffer the consequences that come along with doing what you want to do. Dang, I just forgot what I meant. What I just called for just now. Oh, John chapter 11. Praise y'all. John chapter 11, about verse 40. Say, Yahusha saith unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou would believe, thou shalt see the glory of Elohim? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Yahusha lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I know that thou hear me always. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. Why would he sit back and tell these people he know that the Father hear him always? Why would he have that confidence to utter that statement? Gentlemen, why would he be confident enough to say that? Because he knew his ways pleased him. He knew his ways pleased him. You have to sit back and look at, the Apostle Paul say, I exercise myself to have a conscience void of offense towards Yah and man. That means he's moving to have a mind of where he knows that everything he does is pleasing to the Most High. That's why y'all sit back and look at. How many of y'all right now can say your conscience is void of offense towards Yah and man? I know some of y'all open your mouth and say otherwise, you lying. Some of y'all done offended the Most High and man in the last 72 hours. Shoot, 48. And you know I ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at that. You definitely don't want to offend Yah, and you definitely don't want to offend your brother. And if you know you done said or done something to offend your brother, you need to go seek their forgiveness immediately. You know what I'm saying? If somebody has done something that has offended you, you need to let them know that you were offended by that and why. Not with no attitude. You know what I'm saying? But let that be known. Because you know what our law say, don't bear no grudge against our neighbor. You know what the Mashiach told you in Luke 17:1, offenses must come, but woe unto them who they must come. He say, if your brother offend against thee, he say, forgive him. He say, he come and ask thee for forgiveness. He say, forgive him. He say, what if he do it 7 times? He say, forgive him 70 times 7. The same way you want a Mashiach to forgive y'all need to be tenderhearted and forgive one another. Have bowels of mercy towards one another. We just read that in Colossians 3. No matter if you feel individual, maybe this, that, and the third. Sometimes learn, keep stuff to yourself. Sometimes they learn, keep stuff to yourself. Or if you feel like somebody got that particular character trait or whatever the case may be, go on and tell them about it then. Maybe they ain't aware they like that and they don't know it. Maybe they can correct it then. Don't sit around holding stuff in your heart and resentment go to growing. Then when resentment go to growing, things start coming. You'll start saying all type of stuff out your mouth. Or you'll start doing stuff to people because you actually resent them because you ain't never said nothing about it. Every single last one of us are adults. You grown. Then you say you want to be the servants. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all young too. But the Most High forcing you to grow up. You got to grow up. You got to handle things like an adult. You know what I'm saying? I know I did with talking to Corey. He had a situation he was dealing with, and I just reminded him, like, I mean, literally, like, you still young. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally just got out of college. A lot of the things, the errors that he made in this situation wouldn't have been, if he was my age, he probably wouldn't have made them, because he would have had a little bit more life experience in living. He would have known that I ought to do boom, 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 because I know what's going to happen if I do it like this. But because of his youth and his inexperience, he gonna make that error. You know what I'm saying? Because of inexperience. Ain't necessary. I mean, it's not necessary just because you're young, but when you're young, you don't have as many experiences as somebody who's been living a little longer, unless you had an event-filled life. Because there's some people about y'all age that done did a lot of things in a short period of time on this earth, and got a multitude of life experiences to draw from. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a multitude of life experiences to draw from, then you can make mistakes in certain situations. That's why I say and mention certain things to y'all so you don't make those mistakes. But a lot of y'all so hard-headed, or you don't really listen, you know what I'm saying, to what I'm telling you, so you don't have to do that, because I can already see how it's going to end. But a lot of times you thinking that I'm saying this to you because I don't want you to do it, or you thinking that I'm thinking about something else, and it's nothing other than I already know how this going to end. And pretty much any of y'all who I told you don't do this or go or do this and you didn't do it, it ended exactly like I told you it was going to end. And it's not because I'm some super sage or super righteous or super spiritual. It's just life experience. I can see. I've seen that before. I know how this is going to end. It's not going to end like you want it or how you thought it was going to end. But y'all don't take heed to that warning. That's why he say to warn the unruly. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to warn you. You outside the way. This is not going to work for you. You don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. I ain't got to lie to none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? About nothing. You know what I'm talking about? And one thing is for certain. If I said it, and I can stand on what I said, and I can look you in your face and look you in your eyes and tell you I said it. You know what I'm talking about? Because I've been a lot of things in my life, boy. And one thing I have not been is a liar. Because ain't can't nobody come tell you and stamp and tell you that I am a liar. That I'm known for telling lies. Everybody done told a lie. But some of y'all know that y'all were pure, unadulterated, unequivocal, habitual, compulsive liars. It was nothing for you to tell one. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Compulsive liars. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I'm known, boy, I'm a man of my word. If I say it, boy, if I said something, or somebody said I said something, and boy, I'm talking about 99.9% of the time, you could take that to the bank. Yeah, I said it. And if you don't believe I said it, all you got to do is come ask me. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is come see me. I'll tell you. If I said it, I'll say I said it. If I didn't say it, I say, well, take me to the individual who told you I said it, and I tell them they a lie to their face. And if you don't believe me, try me on out for size. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Try me out for size. Niggas say I said something, and they said I was lying. Go bring me the nigga who said I was lying. I tell you he a lie to your face. You can take me straight to him. I guarantee you I look that man dead in his eye and tell him he a lie. And run it down how I know he lying. Got no business for that. I ain't got no reason to lie to none of y'all. What I'm going to get from it? What I'm going to get out of it? I'm telling you, listen, what's wrong with you? Good, googly move. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Listen, done went stone cold crazy in here. You ain't know what you were doing. Verse 14 of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Stop, little tizzy lizzy. I got to get ready to wrap this up. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men. See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Y'all need to remember that. Y'all don't need to be rendering even the evil to nobody. Somebody do you wrong, you don't need to be doing it back. Like the book of Proverbs say, don't sit back and say, my enemy have done this, I shall avenge myself. Let y'all do it. You ain't got no business doing that. That's why we just looked at that on top of that, because you seen that David was reproached by Nabal. He was finna do what? Render him evil for evil, wasn't it? Don't got no business doing that. Just because somebody say something nasty to you don't mean you need to say nothing nasty back. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody do something to you don't mean you got to do it back. That's I'm telling you, the reason I'm telling you, because I'm going to be honest with you. That's a sign of unintelligence and immaturity. Ain't even no way around that. That's just straight childish. He did this to me, so I'm going to do this to him. You know what I'm saying? That's immaturity. That's like you women like to say in these days and time, what they like to say, that's petty. I still can't believe a grown man told another man he was being petty. That was amazing to me. He say, rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, and in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Elohim and Yahushua HaMashiach concerning you. Quench not the spirit, despise not prophesying, prove all things, hold that fast which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil. Now, what do you think this could mean about abstaining from all appearance of evil? There's also another thing I want to look at, too. This is how you can be able to do that. Hit you John chapter 7. What y'all think this could mean about abstaining from all appearance of evil? You don't want to be involved in anything that even could perceive to be evil. Even if that's not what's really going on. Even if the facts of the matter is different than what the appearance is, you don't want to even appear for evil to be worked. You don't want that to happen. There's about 3 more things I want to hit in my mind before we get out of here. John 7 and 22. 21. Stop it. Stop it. Yahushua answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers, and ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision that the law of Moses should not be broken, are you angry at me because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. See, I'm going to show you somebody who judged based off of appearance and not righteous judgment. Genesis 38. before I get to talking about this abstaining from all appearance of evil. It's one other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. Don't think that if you mess up, there's not a chance. There can be a chance. You know why there can be a chance? Because of the sure mercies of David. Remember what David did? When he did that with Bathsheba, you know what I'm saying? And he pronounced death on himself, and that according to the word of the king, he was supposed to die, wasn't it? But he said, I put your sin away. That's the mercies of a Mashiach. But even as it says in Hebrews 10 and 26, if we sin willfully after receiving the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifice for sin, but a fearful look of vengeance and fiery indignation, because we have trodden under the foot the blood of the son of Elohim and counted it an unkodesh thing. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what happened when you jump up and you do what you want to do. You've been accounted in man's blood as it don't matter. But what I'm saying is even if it's something that you ain't done nothing wrong, you want to abstain from all appearance of anything that could be evil. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a situation. I done told y'all this before. And I'll use myself as the example before I read the Genesis 38. And we're going to pick it up at about verse 14. Genesis 38 and 14. Stop throwing. But you know, I'm going on. Me and T been together coming up on 2 years soon. And if I was to all of a sudden leave T alone, obviously if I would leave her alone, I would have already had in my mind a good while before I actually left her alone that I was gonna leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? And if I end up messing with another woman directly after that, every last one of y'all would look at me very funny. You know what I'm saying? Now, I could have been done had it in my mind that I ain't want to mess with her for a long period of time, but I didn't act on it. Then you seeing, oh, he messing with this woman. So it make it look like I done dropped her for somebody else, and that looks real evil. No, it's not the first time I told y'all this. That wouldn't even look right. You know what I'm saying? I may have not done any evil whatsoever, but that perception gonna be, because you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be like, man, I don't know if I want to hear him preach no more. I don't know if I want to listen to him. But you see how he did, T? That was dirty. You know what I'm saying? That was nasty. I thought he was gonna marry her. Now he got another woman. And that's gonna cause y'all to run y'all mouths. That's gonna cause y'all to look at me different. No matter what you might be thinking, that's what's gonna happen. Is this the first time I done said this to y'all, used this to y'all before? If I ever said this to y'all before? My memory served me well. I believe I done said something like this to y'all before. It's the same way when them dudes was coming at me talking about that network marketing. But network marketing, for all intents and purposes, is a pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? I attach myself to that. That gives off the appearance of evil. You know what I'm saying? Can't happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to really look at the stuff you doing and what it attached to and how it looks. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to be sometimes people just going to say you evil and you doing something evil because they hate the word. But then it can be sometimes you doing stuff that if people don't have full information and they go by just on how it looks, you know what I'm saying? That's what they going to judge it by. But you, as Yahudim, we supposed to have enough knowledge and wisdom and understanding to know we don't judge stuff by how it looks. Because judging by how it looks, they were ready to kill a Mashiach for healing a man. You know what I'm saying? How it looked to them, it looked like he was sinning. In actuality, worked the righteous work. You know what I'm saying? Don't never speak on or judge any situation or matter in your entire life till you have a full table of the information. Because you'll make an incomplete decision, you'll make an incomplete judgment, and you'll make incomplete statements. And 99.9% of the time, you're going to have to turn around and eat what you said. 38 and 14. And she put on her, I'm sorry, let me read 13. We'll make it 12. And in the process of time, we'll make it 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in his father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Yehuda's wife, died. And Yehuda was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adumalite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law go up to Timnath to shear his sheep. She put her widow garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in one place, which is by the way Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Yehuda saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou may come unto me? Ain't that funny, right? You see Tamar got had that veil on. He thought she was a harlot, right? He couldn't tell who she was, right? Don't you realize when they seen a Mashiach, they couldn't tell who he was, and they thought he was a blasphemer and a sinner? See, they didn't judge according, they judged according to appearance. They didn't judge righteous judgment. Just because she got a veil on her face don't mean she's a harlot. He said he saw her and thought her to be. That doesn't mean that she was one. He thought she was one. You know what I'm saying? Because he was going by appearance. That don't mean you can walk around here and dress like no slut, and that don't mean you ain't no harlot. You dress like a slut, you are a whore. You listen to Amber Rose and that slut walk if you want to. You're going to be walking that fire walk. Verse 17. Verse 16 again. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for she knew not she was his daughter-in-law. The same way he said he came unto his own, and his own received him not. They didn't know who he was. Same way Tamar, that's his daughter-in-law. You know what I'm saying? That was his own. He didn't know her, he knew her not though. He didn't recognize her. She said, What wilt thou give me that thou may come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, What wilt thou give me? Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. Calm down, Leah. Come on round here to about verse 26. 24, my apologies, 24. Verse 24. And it came to pass, about 3 months after, that it was told Yehuda, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. Yehuda said, Bring her forth and let her be burnt. Don't let nobody tell you the lake of fire ain't in the law, because it says in Revelation 21:8, all whoremongers got their part in the lake that burn with fire and brimstone, don't it? There you go, right there in the law then. Why would he tell her to be burnt for being a whore? He said, burn. Same way with Babylon. Burn that hoe. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose are these, am I with child? And she said, Discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and the bracelets and the staff. You know what you know where you put a bracelet at, right? Where you put a bracelet at, gentlemen? On your wrist. What Isaiah, and also quoted in the book of John, in the 12th chapter, what they told you about something. She said, whoever this signet and this arm and these bracelets and this staff, that's who I'm pregnant by. Because to whom is the arm of Yah revealed, and who have believed our report. It says, and Yehuda acknowledged them, and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. So you see how he didn't judge according to, if he would have judged according to righteous judgment, he would have inquired of who she was and then found out who she was, and he would have got her to who she was supposed to be married to now, wouldn't he? But instead, he went by appearance because he seen that veil on her face and thought her to be a whore, thought her to be a prostitute. So he went and laid with her. But when it all came out in the end, he seen that he was wrong, and you seen what he did? She was more upright than me. See, he acknowledged his error because he went by what he saw instead of judging it righteously. Y'all make sure y'all don't make that error now. Make sure, just like he said, don't judge according to appearance, judge righteous judgment. How many of y'all know y'all been judging according to appearance instead of judging righteously? Going by what it looked like. Instead of weighing it all the way out. And then guess what ends up happening? This is an example why you should abstain from all appearance of evil. Because for all intents and purposes, he committed the evil. He didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? But he did it nonetheless. He did it nonetheless. Let me read that Matthew 24 to y'all before I let y'all get up out of here. I'm going to go into the abstain from all appearance of evil more in depthly on the Shabbat, but not tonight. It's 9:05. I'm going to stop it there. So we ain't going to go that long, an hour and 12 minutes. That's good enough. We stop it right there. Verse 15 of the 24th chapter of Matthew. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the Kodesh place, whoso read, let him understand. Then let them which be in Yehuda flee into the mountains, and let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So to go along with what T adds, what this is pertaining to is when it get real. This is pertaining to the great tribulation. This is pertaining to Jacob's trouble. This is going to be pertaining to when men have had their hands on their loins like a woman in travail. Because you notice what he said? He said in those days. Not if you get pregnant right now. Not if you nursing right now. But in those days. Because there'll be evil done on this earth like you would never believe in your entire life. You just heard the man say, except he short the days, everybody die. Everybody would die. The reason why God told y'all know what the law say. Leviticus 23 say, on my Shabbats have a Kodesh convocation. Don't you realize if this man do the stand in the set apart place and say he God on that particular day and it get real, that we wouldn't flee because we would be in the sanctuary resting? Hearing the word? Y'all just don't jump up and just look at stuff and go crazy, man. But nevertheless, praise y'all for Yahushua HaMashiach. Y'all understood all this stuff this evening? We're gonna stop it right there. We'll stop it right there.